Yes, that is me on the right, a chubby little 10-year-old ready to take on the world one polka dot at a time. Well, let's hope you don't judge me for my poor outfit choice. So what am I going to talk about today with my fabulous audience? I am going to talk about the importance of developing a strong, independent young woman. So, upon thinking about this talk, I kept asking myself, who am I to be telling women how and why to be strong? I'm not there yet. I'm barely even a woman. I'm 17 years old going through whatever it is high schoolers go through, and that's where I got it. Why not explain it through my 17-year-old high schooler, drama-filled eyes? All my life, I have been surrounded by women who were inspiring. In the other picture that you first saw, that was my eldest sister, Jamie. In this picture, this is my second eldest sister, Michelle. My beautiful mother, Helena, who was strong enough to survive a battle with a brain aneurysm. And finally, my grandmother, Natividad de la Cruz Barreto, who lost her battle against cancer. All of these women have taught me how not to be oppressed by a man. In other homes, the man was the head of the house. Am I right? In my home, the woman was. I experienced a dynamic like no other, and it was unreal to me. So when I started reaching the ages of about 7, 8, 9, I had these women as my role models. I started to mimic and try to have the same spirit as them. But also around that time, I had to grow up far away from these women, with my father in another country, all by myself. And this is where I developed and grew up the most. Living without a maternal figure for a young girl is so unbelievably difficult. And to think about the girls who have to live a life without a mother or a maternal figure hurts too much to bear. Yes, of course, there are crazy fights moms have with their daughters, but who's there to pick up the pieces when everything else seems to go down? Of course, my talk isn't about mothers, but who are the strongest women we see today who give complete unconditional love? It's the mothers. So, the first instance where I heard the compliment and depth of my independence came when I was 9 years old. My father unfortunately lost his job here in San Francisco. He found a new job in Hong Kong for a bigger, larger international company. My mom had to stay here for her job. My parents said, "We can't send your little brother off to Hong Kong with your dad. Dad needs someone over there. Carter, will you go live over there?" Me, a fourth grader, making the decision to go move somewhere else, leave my small little school. I knew, even at that age, that I had to make the decision and sacrifice what I had known then, which was trying to be the cool girl in my class. But for my dad and for my family, I had to go. So I stepped on that plane all by myself with a Hello Kitty backpack, and I left San Francisco. So many people, teachers, aunties, friends of my parents, in astonishment telling me how independent I am, that I can make my own future, that I can make decisions like that, fully understanding the consequences. I guess I understood that, but nothing felt better than to hear people tell me that I was independent. My mother telling me that I have always been independent, that I can take care of myself. So when I lived over there, I came home to an empty apartment, and then Dad would come home at around 6 o'clock. When I was bored, I would walk down the hill to the mall, and when I got lost, I had a phone, so I found my way home. And if I couldn't communicate to anyone in China, I kind of signed my way around, and eventually I took up a little bit of the language. I learned how to say my apartment building, the hospital, the school, and the mall. I mean, that was a piece of cake. It took like 4 years. Learning independence at such a young age forced me and pushed me to grow up. Now, I'm not saying that we should send young girls off to new countries by themselves, but we definitely, as a society, need to instill the idea of independence in young women the second they start understanding words. They need to hear that they're important, that they can be independent, that they can do anything that their heart desires. That strong isn't just for men, it's for women too. To have courage and be brave. And that's where I think we as a society have gone completely wrong. That we kind of have to force women and girls to be strong instead of them choosing. Too many times have we heard women speak, I had no choice but to be strong and brave. It's difficult being independent. It requires a lot of strength to be able to take care of yourself and to constantly remind yourself that you're okay and that you're capable. But most of the difficulty comes from external sources. Growing up as a girl who spoke my mind, it got harder and harder to do just that, speak my mind. Why? Society puts this kind of taboo that when a girl does fight for something and does have some sort of fire in her, that she's crazy. She's hormone crazy. She's PMSing. She feels so much. So when impressionable young girls like myself hear this from men, we make sure to realize, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be perceived as crazy. I mean, who does? Coming from a personal experience and dealing with my personal insecurities, it's scary because you have no idea what people are thinking of you. I'm still learning, even now, not to care what people are thinking of me, because first of all, it's none of my business what people think of me, and second of all that matters is what I think of me. It's been a constant struggle all my life, and unfortunately, that's the extent of my strength. For now, I'm hoping that one day I can finally just do me. I guess it all stems from my obsession with boys and all being a teenage girl and what they think of me. Now, the problem with the idea of having young girls be independent and strong isn't just teaching the girls. It's teaching young men out there that a girl isn't crazy if she speaks her mind. She's merely passionate. If a girl is seen by herself and has a confident nature about her, then she shouldn't be intimidating. It's the old idea of male supremacy, and I'm happy to say we come a long way from there, but it doesn't mean we as a society are equal and perfect just yet. We still have a lot of work to do. It's so unbelievably important to teach young girls out there that being strong and independent is okay, that you shouldn't care what others think of you. Realize your self-worth and that you're important, that this is your journey to happiness, and if someone wants to come on for the ride, let them. I'm on my journey, learning new things every day, and I thank God for blessing me with wonderful women in my life who passed on their strength and independence to the young girl who absolutely needed it the most. Thank you.